Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Green Zero and I'm back here once again with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary today. Hope you all enjoyed that last video I had the other week there. I know I've been a little bit quiet. It's been, I think, almost a week since my last video, or maybe a little bit over, but we're going back to current games now. We're still going to do the archives thing in the background there just every now and then, but we have a game here for you today. Replay system has been picking up. Who do we have here? We have State of the Union. He's playing as ZOCOM versus Jack playing as Nod. We are on Rift. And this one has launched itself straight to the popular replays tab, so hopefully it's going to be pretty good. Let's launch ourselves right in now. Here we are on Tournament Rift. If we go over to the right hand side, we've got Jack, and he's obviously drawn Nod Vanilla in this engagement here. Going straight for his racks. Looks like he's going straight for a ref. Not going to see any shadow teams or anything like that. And we have State of the Union over here. What's he going for? He's going for a ref as well. How many engineers are we going to see out of these players? It looks like a second engineer is going to be coming out here for State of the Union. Now, I'd imagine these guys would be pretty even, quite evenly matched here. Of course, State of the Union does have ZOCOM, which is a little bit of an iffy faction. They do have super powerful infantry and air, but they really have to get to that stage in the game for it to be useful. And Jack, on the other hand, he's a GDI player. Not saying he can't play Nod, I'm just saying that his favourite faction is GDI. Let's see how good his Nod is, because I've seen a decent amount of his Nod, and he should be pretty good. Of course, State of the Union with his bugged out Predator tanks isn't going to be able to rely on his armour in this game. No railguns for ZOCOM. Not that it matters, because their Marv is awesome. It's probably the best Marv in the game. But again, no artillery for ZOCOM here. Let's see what State of the Union is going to do with it. Should be reasonably evenly matched. Looks like Jack is going to be able to reach his garrison ball, but State of the Union is going to run for it. And it's going to be close here, actually. Who's going to get there first? The Rifleman squad's faster. Oh, State of the Union, he stopped. He briefly stopped. And that's going to cost him the garrison. Jack, actually, yeah, there you go. He's going to take it now. Not going to be able to kill each other, though, so it's not too big. Jack does get a scout off on his enemy here, so he's going to see exactly what he's doing. I'm probably expecting another ref coming down. There's a Harvester. Standard builds here for State of the Union. Standard builds for Jack as well. State of the Union's Harvester seemed a little bit delayed, of course. That's probably to do with the more expensive power plants for GDI, but they give off more power, so there you go. And Jack cleaning up the scouts there, denying any vision. Of course, State of the Union probably realizes that there are no bikes, otherwise he would have seen them come out of the war factory. Jack's going to send those scouts somewhere. He's got these scouts over here. The good thing is that he doesn't have to worry about GDI harvesters chasing him down, because they don't have machine guns, they've got rockets, and they're pretty bad, actually. I'm surprised that EA didn't ever make the rockets on the harvesters do as much damage as a missile squad. They don't do as much damage as a missile squad, and it's really bad. You would imagine that a vehicle that has rockets, especially that big, will do some significant damage, but they're relatively useless. And I mean, yeah, they can help out against bikes, but like I said, you'd expect for a rocket harvester that the rockets would be just as powerful or even more powerful than a rocket squad, but unfortunately no, they're about only half as powerful, which is pretty bad. So I think I'd actually rather the machine gun. I mean, Steel Talons, they get heavy harvester. It's completely weaponless. It has more armor, of course, and you can pick your own defense. But one thing that EA overlooked, and I think I've pointed this out before, that Steel Talons had the most garrisonable units in the game, yet they had the least amount of infantry. They only have rifles, rockets, and grenadiers, basically, and they got their engineer, which is special, but it's pretty much useless special. I don't think I've only ever scored like one kill ever in all my 2,000 games of Steel Talons with a combat engineer. But there you go. Steel Talons harvesters, though, I surprisingly have won a large number of games with those. Just at the end of the game, where it's a base race situation, you pull your harvesters along for the ride, and all of a sudden you find that your infantry are actually tagging along inside the harvesters, and they provide you the cover to do what you want. And now I've been talking about that a little bit too long here, because Jack is putting some pressure on State of the Union, who decided to go for a very heavy eco as ZOCOM. But he's going to be vulnerable to this buggy force here, which is Jack is putting out right now. He's probably going to lose a harvester. The harvesters are fighting back. You can see they are actually getting a few kills here, so it gets better than gun turret ones. And he should be able to nail that harvester yet, no worries. He's probably going to get a second one, defending with watchtowers. No APM, and the bike's going to be able to sit in that for a while. But that harvester there going down as well, so both the damage harvesters going down. Jack did the damage. He should probably pull away right now. Yeah, there you go. He doesn't want to expend too much. No point sitting around, because he's not going to get another harvester, and he's just going to lose those bikes there. So he got 4 of them away. Nice work. State of the Union does have a scout over here, so he can see what ever Jack is producing. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he'd know there's a second war factory here as well. Jack's got some scouts down there. No scouts up here. He's going to run. Oh, I thought he was going to run across the tib field then. But no, lots more bikes coming out here for Jack. Has he gone for the bottom spike? No, State of the Union did grab this spike as well at the start of the game, so he's a spike up. But it looks like Jack's just realized that. Obviously no plans to get the spikes at any stage in this game, so he's just going to flat out destroy it. I mean, he's got the bikes here. He's going to do it right now. and he's going to level those guys. Being forced to spend money to repair the power plant, that's exactly what State of the Union was hoping for. Jack really should clean those scouts out because obviously it's keeping an eye on this base up here. And now Jack has an expansion down. He's got 3 ref down there, not 3 ref, 3 harvester. And State of the Union now picking up the slack with the harvesters he lost. Going for an airfield, and this is what you'd expect a ZOCOM player to do. I mean, they really do need their air. It doesn't really matter what level it is, they need their aircraft. And Jack here now is just going to level these spikes. He's going to have to, if he goes in air, he's going to be looking pretty set, which is what ZOCOM is strong at. But the problem is just getting to the stage of the game where you can be effective with that. And he's going to lose an upgraded power plant, which is a pretty big win for Jack there, because that's going to power block him, and obviously he's going to have to spend more time and money with his build queue and his money obviously to replace that. Upgraded power plants don't have a lot of health, and they really cause problems. You can see State of the Union is still picking away at this power plant down here. What does Jack have? He's going for Scorpion tanks. He's against ZOCOM. Of course he can easily outarm the ZOCOM, but as you can see, State of the Union is just going to push infantry. He's going for his field suits. They're going to be very heavily armored. He is going for AP ammo. He's almost got AP ammo. So these bikes, I think it's a good idea to abandon the bikes at the moment. Not like abandon them totally, but abandon production of bikes, because they're not really going to help him that much against the force that State of the Union has. But he should keep them alive, which is what he's doing here. Keep them alive. They're always going to be there. They can just sit around in a section of the map if they have to, and just come in whenever he needs them to. State of the Union has to be aware that there are bikes out there and they could get into his field. So if he moves out with his army, he's going to have to make sure there's still forces at home, and he's going to have to micro those forces. We did see a battle marker over there. What was it? I'm not sure. May have just been infantry over the Tiberian field there. And that scanning squad's still going. Might actually be able to level this power plant, which has already been repaired once. And there's militant squads firing on the Foxhole. The Foxhole is trained on the power plant though, so he's probably not going to be able to destroy this. Oh, I'm missing a battle. There's hammerheads out here now, which is really what you want to see. They have full upgrades against Scorpion tanks with Dozer Blades. Now this is the thing, Scorpion tanks will melt to this. I don't think the Scorpion tanks were a good idea. I think maybe he should have gone for, well, it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, now that State of the Union has been allowed to get this kind of composition up, what really was there for Jack to do? I mean, he could have teched. He needs Tib Core, I reckon. If he got Tib Core, he would have been a little bit more set. But now State of the Union is moving with 4 harvesters to the blue field with his army to cover. That's nice work, considering he's cleaned this field up and he's managing his economy there. I mean, yeah, Jack does need not stealth tanks. He does need Scorpion tanks, but he really should have got the fast tech and the Tib Core, I reckon. And maybe go on bike buggy with laser capacitors. Bike buggy with laser capacitors and Scorpion tanks mixed in would be hard, because the hammerheads would be super vulnerable to the Tib Core, even though they have got more health. And it looks like he actually has managed to level that power plant, which is pretty good there. And he's pushing with this army, but of course he's not going to get into the enemy base just yet. Jack putting up some AA turrets here. I think more buggies, laser capacitors, and bikes now. He's actually got a second MCV, so this is actually really good, because what do you call it? State of the Union does not have any artillery, so there you go. I was thinking of what he could do against that kind of composition that State of the Union is pushing out. Now he hasn't got a lot of it anymore, and he couldn't quite get to Jack's base, but the double Conyard is actually really on point. This is a really good idea. He can put down double base defenses. They can protect them all day and every night, and you can see that he's going for Tiberium core missiles. I'd imagine it wouldn't be anything else. He wouldn't be going for laser capacitors just yet, but he may need it later on. He may also need EMP buggies as well, but State of the Union just pulled in a ton of blue Tiberium. Has he got a second MCV? No, it's just one, but he's placed his tech center in a pretty vulnerable position. I mean, he's going to have to move to this field at some stage, and then he's going to leave it back here, and it's going to be a little bit vulnerable. Calling in the GDI airborne once again. Pretty nice power. I mean, just bolsters the infantry force there, and he's going to bring those in. No one taking that bottom spike down there. State of the Union moving back out over to the blue tip, just securing this area. He knows he can't go into Jack's base, because Jack could defend that out too easily. He doesn't have base cracking, a base cracking force yet. He doesn't have doesn't really have any armor, which is what you need for that. He's going for the Marv though. He's got the hammerheads and his avatars out, which is a pretty good idea. And how much longer until Tib Core's done? He really needs that done. He needs to put down more air defenses, because if those hammerheads get infantry in them, they could just go back here and just destroy everything. And Tib Core is just about to complete, so Jack is going to be feeling a little bit safer now. That avatar needs to get back. Otherwise he's going to be destroyed, and he needs something to counter the infantry here as well. These avatars are going to get chewed up pretty quickly, and he has put some rocket squads in there. The bikes really can't take on that hammerhead force. There's just too many of them now. And I mean, avatars were a good idea against these units here, except they can't deal with the infantry. They can deal with the APCs and anything else that he's got on the ground, but he can't deal with this infantry. And he's going to have to shredder turret spam his way to victory, but these forces can take quite a lot of damage now. He may need some Spectre artillery as well to break this base, because obviously State of the Union is going for the Reclamator hub, and he's even got Firehawks out. Interesting positioning on this base here. I've seen some games where people set up a base right here because they just didn't have time to go to the main field. And you see the Firehawks coming in. They're going to immediately bomb that obelisk there and take it down. That's nice work. That's going to weaken his defense there. What was happening down here? Not much. Avatars and Scorpion tanks transitioning to the middle field, so they are vulnerable to the Hammerheads if he's going to capitalize on it. The Hammerheads are over here. What do we got inside the Hammerheads? No, there's one with a rocket squad in it. Oh no, there's two with rocket squads in it, or maybe three, it's hard to tell. I think there's about 3 Hammerheads with rocket squads. Of course, Zone Heads, Zone Raider Hammerheads, oh, they're the most powerful unit composition in the game, in my opinion. Bombs a SAM turret, I mean, oh, he lost 2 Firehawks, that hurts. You don't really want to waste bombs on SAM turrets. Alright, that's not the best thing to do, and he's got to watch out because these Hammerheads can actually overwhelm the SAM turrets. He just focused down the turret themselves. Jack does need a little bit more defense over here. Looks like he managed to shoot one of those Hammerheads down. They're just sitting just outside the range here. He's obviously preoccupied over here. We got double Zone Raider, and we're going to have double Engineer inside that Marv. So that's going to be pretty powerful. All this armor needs to get out of the way because it's getting decimated. Spectre Artillery, Jack, you can read my mind. And of course, with no artillery from ZOCOM, he essentially should be able to win this as long as he can keep his base defenses up. He may need something to isolate or disable the Marv. He needs these avatars to stop shooting an infantry and get down here where the Marv is. Double obelisk comes up, and he should get the Spectre Artillery just to focus the buildings, I would imagine. And not the Marv. The Marv is already down to about 40% of its health. What's happening over here? Looks like he sold off some of his structures. This area could be completely overwhelmed if State of the Union realizes it now. He's not microing those Hammerheads. He's just leaving there. The avatars may need to get back. They're attacking this Marv, and if it gets in range with the Zone Raider attack weapons, it's going to level them pretty quickly. And the infantry coming down here to flank as well. Jack is expending these forces. I don't think that was necessary. He's going to lose all of his avatars. I think the last one may go down. With these Scorpion tanks coming through, perhaps trying to crush. Here come the Firehawks bombing the obelisk. Again, these Firehawks just bombing base defense. It's not the best thing in the world. He could be getting the refineries. No laser fences coming down here from Jack. We got nothing much happening down here. He should be able to transfer these harvesters to the main field. He's got 2 ref 3. He's got triple ref here, but he's only got 3 harvesters, 4 harvesters now. Actually, there's another one hidden there, so he does have 5 harvesters. So just because he's got the refs, you know, he still needs the harvesters there, and he's quite well entrenched here. And the artillery now, I'm surprised it hasn't made much of an impact. He's only actually got 2 Spectres here. He hasn't actually reinforced with any more Spectres. He doesn't have the war factory down here either. I'm not sure what he's spent all that time building all the economy. There is an orchestra coming on that Spectre. Jack needs to move it if he can see it, and it looks like he is going to move it. He needs to move it right now. There we go. It is moving out the way. The other one is not moving. Is there 2 overlapping there? Is there 2 Spectres overlapping? There may be 2 Spectres overlapping there, because I'm pretty sure I saw it turn. Oh no, that may just be me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just me. And the Firehawks again coming in. They're bombing SAM turrets. I mean, they can get away from that easily. They do have Stratify as well, but that's a pretty short way to Stratify. Again, bombing base defenses. It's not going to win any kind of war of attrition, and it looks like those Hammerheads are finally coming, and there goes the power, and this base is super vulnerable, extremely vulnerable. The tech center could go down, the tier 2 could go down. State of the Union needs to finish focusing these buildings down right now. Jack is probably going to move all of his, he's moving all his power plants to the main field. He moved his MCV over here. It's actually going to get bombed, so he's going to need a racks down here pretty quickly to get the engineer out, because it's the only way he can repair it fast enough. And if those Firehawks are allowed to come back, they will level that. And it looks like the Marv is actually going to take a swing at it as well. He needs to building block like crazy. Looks like he scares those guys off. He loses his operations center, so he can't place SAM turrets. And he's going to lose one of his MCVs, but he blocks it off. Nice work. He needs a racks, and he needs it now because the Firehawks are just about to come back, I reckon. Avatars are firing. Avatars are firing. Spectre Artillery is firing. Again, there's still only 2 Spectres there. Can't quite get the construction out. He needs to deploy. He needs to pack it up so the Firehawks don't bomb, but they will bomb, and they will get out of there. And now those Firehawks have caused themselves some problems, or caused Jack some problems. Look at all the power here, but he's only got 1 MCV, and it's way down here. I mean, really, it's all he needs. He's got build radius down here. Does he have? He hasn't replaced an operations center, so he's got no AA capabilities except for this 1 SAM turret. If those Hammerheads, I'm not sure where they are. There's only 3 remaining. One of them is very badly damaged. State of the Union needs to get those back to base and do something with those. I mean, he can just recycle what he's doing here with these Firehawks. They can just bomb and reload and bomb and reload and bomb and reload, and it's free all day. And basically, he needs to destroy those Firehawks pretty quickly. The Marv is veteran. These avatars will fire at the Marv here, and they will cause some significant damage. The Marv will have to retreat eventually. Remember, Jack can pick up the husk. Oh, Shockwave comes down, and that's going to hurt. Nails almost everything here. The artillery is still firing from the back. Those 2 Spectres causing some major problems here for State of the Union, but it looks like he's going to be able to force the Marv back. 1 avatar still remaining. He may get a destroy on the Marv. He needs to put down a racks now because he needs those avatars back. And I think that scan was for the Hammerheads. They should be moving around somewhere. No, they're not moving around anyway. And he's building bikes. I think this is a bad idea. There is a There's a commando running into this building. There's nothing to stop him. Selling off the racks, immediately trying to destroy that commando. And the commando's going to jump jet across. And is he going to get? No, he gets it. Yes, just before the laser field comes on. And he gets through a refinery. And the firehawks, I'm not sure what they were bombing then, but they completely dropped their load. They may have actually dropped it on the commando. The commando is dead, but I'm not sure what happened to him. He may have been killed by scouts coming out of the buildings. But that was massive. His Redeem engineering facility is down. 2 of his refs are gone. And Jack just... he just wasn't responding the way he needed to, was he? And he's lost a few units up there as well. State of the Union now, like I said, he's just going to continue to recycle these forces here. The Firehawks can just bomb and reload for free. And he's going to go around now. Doesn't want to get too close to that Tib core. Takes some serious damage. Wants to avoid the bikes. The bike's actually going to come in handy again. But going straight back to the Redeem engineering facility. He really wants that Redeemer out, but I don't think he's got time. I mean, this Marv here, with the advanced repairs from the battle base can repair the Marv faster than a war factory. Those bikes getting chewed up by infantry as well. And look at that, he's just going to roll in. He's going to get a crush on the harvester. No, not quite. Those 2 Spectre artillery is really the only thing that Jack has going for him. None of them are ranked yet. They've caused a lot of damage too. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ranks up very soon, but more bikes going down. The buggies probably does need their support to get rid of the infantry. No laser capacitors, and it will take you, again, you can see this missile squad just takes so much damage from that one buggy. Firehawks are coming back, and they're just going to be like, huh, Redeemer? I don't think so. And they just bomb that. That's a, come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. This is, he's losing to the attrition. He didn't do anything about the Firehawks, and you got to remember that in these fights here, if you don't do anything about the Firehawks and it ends up like this, you're in big trouble, because those Firehawks, they just keep coming back again and again and again and again. And State of the Union, I mean, he was bombing base defenses at the start, but now he's actually started choosing his targets, and Jack is hurting like crazy. This is an amazing attack here, and his laser fields are bugging out. You can see they're bugging out. That's going to hurt him, but he does manage to save the refinery there. And 2 of the Firehawks didn't drop all their bombs. Remember, when you jump your Firehawks back to base, you should always hit the return to airfield command. Otherwise, they will do what they were doing there, and they'll fly around because they still have a bomb on board. So you really want to make sure that you hit return to base. Oh, those Spectre artillery are in range at the airfield. Oh man, those Firehawks can weather the damage. I think the airfield will go down before they will. But the Spectre artillery now has just been destroyed. One of them has anyway. Or there may have been... I'm just going to say there's one there. I keep not realizing. And the Marv has just torn a huge hole in Jack's army here. And Jack has just carved up all the Tiberium. And he just doesn't have anything to show for it. He's only got one... Yeah. His persistence in going for the Redeemer, big downfall. He didn't need the Redeemer. He could have easily had the tools. All he needed to do was take out the Marv, and then this base would have been easily dead. But now State of the Union has just established himself here, and he's actually got a harvester not doing anything. He's kept his main fields dry. Let's have a look down there. Yep, keeping those fields dry. He could sell off some of these structures. He doesn't need all these structures. Building more hammerheads over there, keeping this area dry. He's still got hammerheads there that haven't been doing much. He's been solely focused on this base over here. And finally, Jack is once again launching these what do you call it? Using these Spectres to bombard this base, but as you can see, it's going to take a while to destroy this. And the Redeem engineer facility goes down again. Oh, Jack, he needs to stop that right now. He should have stopped it the first time it went down, but he's continuing to go back. I mean, this is the mindset that a lot of people get. Oh, I need my epic unit. I need my epic unit. You don't need your epic unit. Look at players like, you know, Technique and Eclipse and all that. They don't go for their epic unit that much, do they? I mean, Technique wins most of his games before he even gets to his tech because he's just so aggressive and he has so many numbers. But the Marv is now elite. He's never going to be able to engage this Marv directly anymore because it's just going to be so powerful. It's got the repair pads, and a $3,000 cloaking field goes off just to kill a handful of infantry. So Jack obviously has money to burn, but really he needs to be careful with what he's expending that on. He's got a large amount of damage on the Marv now, but I don't think he should continue to chase it. And maybe a commando from Jack would be the way to go. I'm not sure how State of the Union would be able to stop that. They have to use a gun tower of some kind. And there you go, the Firehawks now just continuing to bomb the base defenses here. And Jack, I bet you anything he's built another Redeem engineering facility back at home. No, he hasn't built one. He better not be queuing one, because if it hasn't worked the first 5 times, it's not going to work the 6th time. And the Spectre artillery goes down. He gets crushed here. The Marv rips him to shreds, trying to use the harvester to crush. Nice move, but of course it's going to go down. He doesn't need that many harvesters. Another commando comes out. Firehawks are still going. We've got 2 veterans there, so remember they're going to do extra damage. He does have another field here. He's also got one at home, so maybe he was planning on going 8 Firehawks. They've just been so effective. I mean, once ZOCOM gets that many, you can see they can tank a decent amount of Tib core here. Another battle marker up there. What do we got? The Marv now healing up on the battle base. So, and look at that. Jack's base here. It's worn. It's worn. It's gone. And oh my god. I'm sorry, Jack. There it is. You know, but I'm not going to sit here and say he only lost because he made the bad decision. State of the Union played great. Like, you must admit, those Firehawks, yeah, they're iffy at the start, but then he just made him pay again and again and again. Nice moves from State of the Union. Never to overcommit his Marv as well. But Jack, on the other hand, just was not responding the way he needed to, and I'm a little bit iffy about that. He could have easily defended that base if he got some more Spectre artillery, put down a few more SAM turrets. He didn't need the Redeemer one bit at all in that game there. He could have done the job with the resources that he had, because State of the Union doesn't have artillery. State of the Union would have been forced back. He could have kept Firehawk him and used his hammerheads, but at least Jack could have secured that main field and not just taken tons and tons of losses there. So nice foresight from State of the Union. He obviously had the attrition to win that game. Eventual nice use of the Firehawks here, nice use of the Marv, and you can see with the ZOCOM Marv, and he was just using it right then very, very well, and he destroyed so many of Jack's units, and Jack just got sucked into that gameplay, and that's exactly what State of the Union wanted. I think State of the Union could have used his hammerheads a bit better. They weren't very active in the last half of the game, and they're a very powerful unit. You can remember he was building them up towards the end of the game, so he was obviously thinking about going and destroying everything Jack had, but with Jack's laser fields bugging out there, I can't believe it. He must have lost at least, like I said, 5 Redeemer engineering facilities. He was never going to get that out. He never even came close. 19 minutes, 10 seconds there. Jack, GDI player, I'm sorry I'm sledging him a bit there, because he played the first half of the game pretty good, and great idea to go for the double conyard, but then he just couldn't piece his defense together. He just needed to spam it up with a lot of base defenses, get artillery, push State of the Union out of that area. Then he could have done whatever he wanted, and the State of the Union would have then been on the back foot, and he would have had to make the plays, or the defensive plays there. But the hammerheads would have been a problem. State of the Union actually had more units there, so nice work. A lot of infantry, obviously. Structures up and down. Jack obviously having more because he was double conyarding, but just couldn't make it pay. Resources, you see there, he was significantly ahead. State of the Union did get up a little bit here. That's probably blue Tiberium. And then Jack just wavered ahead there. So let's have a look at the money. Jack got $162,255 to State of the Union's $137,167. So we got $47.57. 25,000 in favor of Jack. That's in almost a 20-minute game. That's a nice advantage. I mean, that's not huge or anything, but that's, you know, an extra additional army there that he's got. But 0.64 kill death ratio for Nod. It's not as low as it could be. So that's not too bad. But 1.46 for State of the Union. It was too high compared to what Jack had. Attack bike favourite for Jack, missile squad favourite for State of the Union. We had 101 units lost the year. So Jack created less units than he lost, so there you go. He also created 80 structures, so that's where a lot of that $25,000 went. 80 buildings to State of the Union's 35. State of the Union just wasn't losing any buildings, so he didn't have to replace any of them. And he destroyed 31, and what do we got? How many did Jack sell? He only sold 11 of the 80 structures he built. Now remember, base defenses screws that up, so it's probably about 60 structures or something like that. But most of his buildings were getting destroyed, not sold as well, so he wasn't getting money back for most of them either. And again, just I like the way that Jack played the first half of the game. And I know I'm repeating myself a little bit here, but then State of the Union balled it up with ABCs and infantry and hammerheads, and that was a great composition, and Jack just didn't know what to do about that. Went for double conyard, great idea, but didn't execute it too well. Avatars were a nice touch. They did great, but they just didn't have support. Didn't get enough specters. He only got like 2, and then he thought he had enough, and that was just, nah, that was not good enough. And just going for your Redeemer 5 times and never even getting close, nah, that wasn't good at all. Like I said, Jack made some good decisions in that game, but the last part of the game, he just made some really rash and harsh decisions there. And State of the Union played a little bit iffy at the start, tried to go heavy eco, couldn't quite get into Jack's base, and then at the end with the Firehawk attrition and the Marv use there, managed to whittle down Jack. So that was a good game by both players. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.